All right, chat, we're back. Post game, Lakers defeat Timberwolves. Game 2, 1-1. Series is tied 1-1. What a game. We have Chris Finch right now talking and JJ Redick talking. So we're just going to listen to post game while we also talk and analyze this game for ourselves. Everyone like up the chats, YouTube and TikTok. The Lakers win a really ugly game too, and let's hear JJ talk about it. All true. Not a couple disorganized plays, chat. A lot of disorganized plays. So interesting. JJ is not really saying much, but you can tell he's disappointed because that was a disappointing game, even though you win. Only offensively. Defensively, I think you're really happy. That was a phenomenal defensive game from LeBron James, from Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic. Your three best players set the tone on defense. Dorian was awesome, creating extra rebounds. Luka created more rebounds for the team. They got stops. They forced turnovers. They honestly really benefited from Naz Reid and Dante DiVincenzo getting in foul trouble. I feel like the refs called this game in really interesting fashion. I think a lot of these plays were fouls, not soft ones either. Definitely like, okay, why are these teams making these over aggressive moves? Because it's the playoffs. But there were just certain stretches where on both sides they got it wrong and forced teams to challenge, and JJ Redick got very mad because they couldn't even get a timeout done correctly. So it was interesting to see his frustration with that. The Lakers, probably his frustration with the Lakers' stagnant offense. They only looked really dominant on the plays where they moved the ball, and when they ISO'd, it was either brilliance from Luka 2 out of maybe 8 times, and then brilliance from Austin Reeves a couple times finally, and once on Nas and twice on Rudy. Um, you saw an ugly brand of basketball, a lot of ISO ball, trying to like everyone just saw Gobert and tried to attack him endlessly, but it resulted in an ugly game. You get good stats from Luka and decent from LeBron and solid from Austin, but he didn't shoot the three well because this was such a gritty game. Minnesota plays such a physical brand of basketball. They play really aggressive. They don't want to let you get into your spots. They don't want to let you be comfortable, and they do that, and they definitely do that, uh, especially against a weaker athletic team like the Lakers. The Lakers, in what they don't have in athleticism, they have all in skill and talent, but that they had to bring a new level today. And Anthony Edwards is in an arm wrap right now for his post game interview. The Lakers largely contained him. I really liked. I really liked the defensive game plan on him, except for how he played in the second quarter when he just got to the rim at will. Again, another 22-point game, but he had 9 assists, 8 rebounds. He has really improved as a playmaker in this league, dealing with double teams, blitzes. They had to ISO Julius Randle all night tonight. And it sounds like Julius Randle would have shot 20 shots like Edwards did, but Julius actually only shot 11 shots, but probably had the ball the majority of the game. because the Lakers were forcing him to ISO. He had 7 turnovers once again. That's 7 back to back. Um, the Lakers got torched by Randall, but also Randall helped them, especially in the 4th quarter. Lots of turnovers. I'm sure the rest of the Timberwolves are fuming because it's a very similar turnover split to last game. He has 7, and the rest of the team, the highest is 1. He needs to control the basketball, and I'm glad he didn't, and I'm glad the Lakers stole the ball from him. Anthony Edwards' most crucial turnover was at the end when he caught the ball on a fast break and LeBron ran under him, uh, stole the ball right as the ball was bouncing into Edwards' hand, got to the rim, layup. That was amazing. The Lakers also didn't execute fast breaks very well. Austin Reeves threw a couple lobs to LeBron where he had to remember he's 40, he's not 27 anymore. You can't throw so many, but I also that one play where Austin messed up the 2-on-1, he should have known that everyone and their mom knew that he would wanna throw the lob. So, he just should have gone for the layup and not made such a an ambitious play. But ultimately, he played better today than he did in game 1. I think he had the same scoring output, and I think LeBron did too, actually. Or no, that's cap. I'm capping. But, 1 second. Someone said Jackson Hayes 5 fouls in 9 minutes. Yeah, it was bad. He was jumping for joy. I don't understand how he consistently jumps for joy. Okay, no, Reeves was 7 of 14. What am I even saying, chat? But he did have the same scoring output, so that was correct. 16 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, plus 8. LeBron 21, 11, and 7, 1 steal, 1 block. Rui was honestly fantastic tonight. 3 stocks for him. 2 steals, 1 block, 11 points, 5 rebounds. He made an impact out there. So did Dorian Finney-Smith, playing good defense. Same with Gabe. He brought good energy. Uh, Vando and Goodwin were whatever. Vando had a couple good moments, but his offense is his offense. Um, Perry, honestly, I think the Wolves went after Luka a relative amount today. Not as much as the Lakers go after Gobert, that's for sure. But Luka played the best defense he's played all season. I'm pretty shocked about that. He really cared today, and he would not let anyone beat him to the spot. There was one play, not one play, maybe 4 times in the 4th quarter where the Lakers just threw the ball away. Um, and Luka was the first guy back multiple times, and he stopped the left side drive by Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and he also stopped the fast break by matching up with Nickeil and Reeves matching up, and his effort today was the best we've seen all season defensively, and also 31, 12, and 9. Like, this was one of Luka's best two-way games he's had. Still, 4 turnovers. The way those turnovers looked, it was really ill-advised. The funny thing about Luka is he's so good that any mistake he makes, you're like, how did you even do that? Why did you make that mistake? You're too good to make that mistake. Um, and I know he holds himself to that standard, but he played the best defense he has all year. That's for sure. Reeves cannot go 0 of 6 from 3. Yeah, I agree. Not again. You're not going to win in Minnesota if Austin Reeves is 0 of 6 from 3. You can win in Minnesota if you play this kind of defense, but there's no way you get these exact same calls in Minnesota in game 3 and game 4. Because the calls you got today in game 2 and the home crowd, some were really good, some were really poor. Majority of the times, though, it was in favor of Los Angeles. When you go to Minnesota, it's not going to be the same thing. Obviously, these refs aren't biased, but um, you're not going to get that same momentum that you get from a foul, to get from the other team messing up. So, are the Lakers going to play well on the road? It's going to be interesting to see them in Minnesota in a couple days. I don't know. I don't know how they would even remotely survive if Austin Reeves doesn't hit another 3 in game 3 because you need to counteract huge punches that are coming for you um, in Minnesota. It's not going to be the same kind of ugly game that it was today, especially at the Lakers after travel. I don't know if they're going to be playing as intense or good defense as they did today because they knew today was a must win. Um, I don't know what their effort output is going to look like just in terms of how in shape they are. I think they need to give this exact same effort if they want any semblance of making it anywhere this year, because that's championship level effort defensively. But their offensive strategy, when it goes to the stars and it goes to crunch time is really ill-advised. It's very anxious. It's not organized. It's all about can we exploit this matchup 100 billion times? It it's like what LeBron James says in the podcast, in Mind the Game when he was with JJ. He literally said that, "Why don't we just do this the whole fucking game?" Like, his words. Lakers play on Friday, by the way, Andrew Ramirez, at 6:30 PM PST. That offense is not gonna be sustainable for championship level basketball or even conference level basketball. Even the Hawks, when they made it, weren't ISOing Trey the whole time. There was a pick and roll abuse. There was guys hitting open shots, guys getting stopped. The Lakers got stops today. They had a they had a pretty solid whistle in comparison to what the Timberwolves probably thought they had. Um, and you're not going to get that exact same experience in Minnesota. The Lakers are just going to have to hit shots the same way they did in OKC a couple weeks ago. Um, and when they beat them by 30, you need the Lakers, if they want to win on the road, have to be like the Timberwolves were in game one. You have to win convincingly. You have to hit a lot of threes. Um, and you need to get better shots and completely, completely get rid of this fancy pass attempt. Get rid of these ill-advised lobs. Make the right basketball play. These guys are too talented to not make the right basketball play every single time. Um, run the offense that's there for them. I understand that countering the pre-switch, the double pre-switch off these screens in order to get Rudy off of you takes time, and it's worth taking the time. But your only your only semblance of an offense can't just be switch hunting the entire game because you saw the benefit of ball movement in the first half. There's a clip that's on Instagram everywhere from the Lakers, and also I posted it to my story um, where the Lakers get get a get a flyby on the corner, left corner, go to the rim, kick out to corner man and then to Austin on the wing. I think it was Rui to Austin to Luka, if I'm not mistaken, or LeBron to Austin to Luka. Pretty sure Rui. That was the best possession they had all night. Luka Doncic almost looked away when he hit the three. It was so easy for him. Why Luka doesn't always have to take contested 1v1 buckets every single time. It's very important. I think the Lakers need to still have that proficiency that Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic do have. I think they need that often. I think LeBron's one-on-one proficiency has reduced uh, immensely, but that he pretty much made up for it on 95% of the possessions shortly after with a steal or a forced turnover somehow or a stop. But LeBron's ISO scoring was detrimental, and you do have to play as hard as you possibly can and just try and score on every possession in the playoffs. But I would have liked to see just better shot attempts from LeBron in those isolation mismatch situations. I think he looked really locked in the first half, and you can't blame him for his legs going in the second half in certain respects. At least his cardio shape was elite, so that didn't affect him on defense, which is good about LeBron. And that is something that's good about a guy like Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent, Jerry Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, Rui. These guys are in good cardio shape, and they at least can stay in front of Minnesota. And if they don't, and if they do get beat by Anthony Edwards, I thought their help side defense was a lot better today. I thought they had long arms. They tipped the ball out a lot. Luka Doncic, as we talked about earlier, created a lot of rebounds, not just for himself but for other people. He had a block today. There was a time where a ball was going up for an offensive rebound, and he hit the ball into the rim to get it, or into the backboard to get it off, and away from the rim, and thus giving the Lakers another possession. And Luka Doncic has been roasted in the national media and by people that aren't fully watching the games, or falling in love with a couple plays here and there, not watching every single game. Um, this this was effort, and this needs to be acknowledged for sure. It needs to be acknowledged. He actually played great defense today. But the last 5 minutes, we all agree. We all agree. These last 5 minutes of this Yeah, we did play like ass. I completely agree. Um, I did not like that. I did not like that 24 style basketball. I think what they should do in a solution to the problem would probably be if you can't run just straight up pick and roll the whole time, get into a horns action. Um, get and take advantage of the fact that Minnesota is playing this overzealous ass defense, denying everybody, giving them no space. Rui had a beautiful cut at the end of the first half that finished off the Lakers scoring in the first half to get them to 58 on the and one from the corner. If these guys are overplaying you, just cut. You have LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic, and Luka and LeBron being two of the top three passers probably ever, and Austin being a pretty good passer. You just take advantage of those back cuts, take advantage of the overzealous defense. These guys are whole grabbing your arms when you're cutting, they're grabbing your arms when you have the ball. The best way to counter that type of defense and that type of over aggressive defense is to beat them with your mind. And that's what the Lakers did in moments. And then they stooped down to the level and started trying shit like no look passes, behind the back passes, things that should not be executed in a playoff game. You have to make you have to make you have to make the right basketball plays all the time on offense. Obviously, you can't complain that you get the win. Don't get me wrong, we're not complaining at all about a win here. It's just if they blow you out in game one, you have to come out in game two and blow them out. And if you don't, you have to show signs of something that is sustainable. I think the defense is sustainable for 2 out of the next 4 games, but certainly the offensive strategy is not sustainable. The offensive level is interesting because you see such heroics from Luka. You see such important plays from Austin Reeves. So it's not like they played bad, like overall basketball. It's that when the going got tough, they kept making mistakes. They just kept bailing themselves out by forcing turnovers, but they kept making mistakes. Luka and LeBron in the fourth quarter were giving the ball away because they were overthinking the game, which happens. It's understandable. Teams will make their runs, but the Minnesota Timberwolves weren't even doing anything special for you to do that. You were just trying shit that didn't need to be there. And I think the Lakers will continue to be better. I'm sure JJ Redick, the most detailed guy in the room, has already talked to them about it in the post-game locker room. They're probably going to be watching the film tomorrow. The game's on Friday though, so who knows? Maybe they take a day off or not, like a half day off. Um, but Minnesota's going to be very, very intense. You're not getting the same calls, man. They're not flopping. They're not flopping. Julius Randle really whacked LeBron James extremely today. That was crazy. I was shocked. But he didn't need to. He made a tough ass bucket. After making that tough bucket, you do not need to hit the guy. Uh, you do not need to hit the guy just because you're in that moment. Um, which is something I get frustrated with Randall about because when he was on the Lakers, you started to see this guy's really good, but he can't get out of his own way when it comes to turning the ball over, taking bad shots because it's a mentality. It's fully a mentality. And Julius Randle has had this mentality since I've ever seen him. I first saw him play basketball in high school, and he probably ever started at 1 year old playing basketball. The same attitude that his son has. It's balls to the wall, and he was amazing in certain stretches. He was amazing in certain stretches. But Julius Randle just gave up the game for them. They would argue in the fourth quarter. He would just argue that because you play so well, you hit these floaters, these tough ass buckets, but then in the fourth quarter, you're just making these mistakes that expose the player that you are, and I don't like that. I want Julius Randle to be better, but he can be better next year on a different team, not against the Lakers. That's for sure. Yeah, ultimately, that you win by Julius Randle, you lose by Randle. Timberwolves low-key shit the bed. They Lakers played much better defense. They had put pressure on them. It wasn't easy shots like it was in game one, just giving Nasri wide open corner threes. The fouls helped, so you didn't have to see much of them, but they got frustrated and they kept fouling. So that's on them. Alexander Walker, Nasri, Dante DiVincenzo, 38.4% shooters. If they hit half their shots, they win this series. Half their shots is 50% though. Colin, I would say the same thing for the Lakers. I think the role players are going to be the defining factors of this series. So we do agree. Just I think it's both sides. Gabe Vincent for the Lakers. If you don't get the performance from him tonight, you don't win. Same with Dorian Finney-Smith, and which points to maybe this series is going to go seven. I still am holding on strong to my prediction of Lakers in six, but I would not be shocked if it was seven. How many minutes did Vando have? Let's see. 7 minutes. 7 minutes and 43 seconds. Yeah, Gabe Vincent 6 points. Those are like the biggest, loudest 6 points he has had all year. Crazy corner three. That three was insane. And he had a block. He had an amazing block. I think on Nickeil Alexander-Walker, if I'm not mistaken. And he blocked Anthony Edwards in game one. We saw Miami Gabe tonight and Dallas Dorian Finney-Smith. Second game, Randall tries to hurt LeBron. What did he do in the first game? I forgot. He did kind of go at him a lot. Julius Randle is one of those guys that if you're near him when he's going for a layup, be careful. You might get hurt. You might get hurt if Julius Randle is going to the rim. Get out of that man's way if you are my size. They're showing the Bucks Pacers highlights right now on TNT. Bucks put up a decent fight, but not enough. Indiana's team is just better. They're more athletic. They're younger. They've and Andrew Nemhard is amazing. Andrew Nemhard is fantastic. Before the Lakers ever had an idea that they were getting Luka Doncic, I was like, why don't we go for Andrew Nemhard, bro? In a couple of years, in restricted free agency, and not get him. Randall thinks he's Zebo. That's funny. Bucks should have never gave up Drew. Totally agree. It started a chain reaction of the Heat being bad and the Celtics being good and the Bucks being bad. Oh, Dame hits crazy shots. I just don't know why Milwaukee decided to trade for him instead of Miami. It was a better fit in Miami. He spent the whole summer partying in Miami and posted videos there every day, divorced his wife, and was set on going to Miami for the rest of his days, and then instead got traded to cold Milwaukee and is now getting in arguments with Tyrese Halliburton and down 2-0 in a playoff series on the road. But Milwaukee, I feel like, should be able to take care of business at least one time in this series by winning 2 games in Milwaukee. I just don't know if they can do it. I don't know if they can win a third in Milwaukee. First quarter matters, Josiah. I saw the clips from the Mud Pod with Marc Gasol at LBT. Yeah, the playoffs are unpredictable, Mandela Green. I agree. I do agree, sadly, Ruiz and Morales, that Celtics have a really good chance to win. Yeah, it's because their team is just built perfectly. And in modern basketball and modern society, it sucks to say it, but they are built perfectly, and that's how you build a roster. It's just a matter of are Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis going to replicate what they did last year, and if they do, you'll probably win. Because Derek White was also special, but he'll continue to be special because he's younger. But if your older guys, even though they're not that old, if your older guys perform, you'll probably win. If they don't, you may have a chance for a West team to beat them because that team is built way too perfectly. 2 superstar wings. Yeah, 100%. I feel like, who you got at Knicks Pistons game 3? I got the Pistons, man. I really do believe in the Pistons. I think everyone has started to become like like, what's the best way to put this? They're warming up to Detroit now in this new era of the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham is extremely likable. Jalen Duren is likable. Um, Malik Beasley, who is largely weird, but, like, not in a bad way. He's just, like, different, and he's a internet kind of person who gives you funny takes, and, he's kind of reckless and whatever, but he shoots the ball well when he's not in LA. Asar Thompson is this, like, wild, 6'7" modern day demon wing that can guard anything and anyone. So it's like that's an X factor, and they play with such Detroit grit and like bad boys mentality, even though it's kind of poser in a mind. In if you were in the young kids, if you're talking like a young kid, it is kind of poserish, but it really is entertaining, and they don't give a shit about anyone else besides themselves. They're close. They're businesslike. Tobias Harris bought these guys suits. Um, bought these guys suits for to be playoff professionals, and then they go and steal a game in New York. So I think they go. I think Detroit will be really loud. So I think they win Game 3. I'm a Lakers fan because I was born in SoCal and my brother put me on from birth. So I was always going to be a Kobe fan, Laker fan, and this is a forever thing. Timberwolves in 5. Uh, I like making jokes too. Um, I think. Hey, appreciate it, Ari. Shout out Detroit. Wolves in 5 is laughable. I agree. The Wolves in 5 comments are always going to be funny. I like playoff time. We live and die with every game. We live and die with every single game. There was a style of play that was ugly from the Lakers partially tonight, so that's what was hard to take away from this win. It wasn't the most satisfying win for that reason. Losing a game in Minnesota, in LA is not ideal, but it's better to win this than not. And your defense looked elite. And if you can play defense like that just one time in Minnesota and take a game back, it's an even series. You're looking to even up the series in Minnesota, but why not get greedy, as LeBron James said? Why not get greedy and try and win both? I think they know. I think they know that they can take advantage of the Minnesota Timberwolves if it's a Julius Randle led offense. I think that's one thing that they really enjoyed today, and that strategy working is turning it into a Julius Randle offense because you just have Anthony Edwards with no space and way too much help and guys staying in front of each other. Um, so he has to dump the ball off on these doubles, and then ultimately Julius Randle, you have to live with. He'll beat you in some crazy athletic ways, like dominant ways. There was a fan calling him today. He is the opposite of weak. He is a dog, but he had 7 turnovers. He had 7 turnovers. Today he did. Today he led your offense just because he had to. That was the majority of the offense was Anthony Edwards, ISOs for sure. Joshua says if Lakers and Denver lose their series, Jokic to LA in the offseason. Denver would rather sell the team again than give us Jokic in a trade. That would be free agency only. Who you got in the next round? Man, it's so hard to predict. I have predictions that I did do, but right now, each game is NBA Finals Game 7. Lakers versus the Warriors would be fire. You can lead the offense and score only 85 points. You can't just 'cause you led the offense doesn't mean it's gonna be, um, just 'cause it's gonna be, like, of course, he led them to a mid offense today, and the Lakers played great defense. Warriors in 5. I think, yeah, the Warriors probably win that series in 5. Clippers, my sleeper team. That's gonna be great. I like that for 7. I like that series for 7 for sure. That gives me 7 close games, so 5 more close games. Both games have been extremely entertaining. MPJ becoming a guy that is, hunted or attacked and is now controversial is just funny because against the Lakers, he was magnificent multiple times for 2 years. And Russell Westbrook also playing great defense, winning them a game in game 1. But then in game 2, the Clippers, Kawhi, magnificent, 15 of 19. I feel like it's just going to be game by game by game for these guys. Um, if you shouldn't have rescinded the Williams trade, yeah, looking back at it, you would really benefit from having Mark Williams right now because the games would be a lot easier if the Lakers could have a roller that scores more often than once or twice for an entire game. Man average 16 and 10. Although I am happy to see Dalton connect as a Laker, but my God, I would take Mark Williams. I think anyone would take Mark Williams just right now, just this season. Ignoring what true Lakers versus Thunder, Lakers in 7. That would be fun. Clips in 7, Thunder in 6 against Clips, Lakers in 6, Warriors in 7, Lakers in 6. I just got like 80. I just got 83 different variations of what kind of championship could happen. I don't think you would be better with Anthony Davis. You'd just be different because LeBron James as your primary ball handler and Austin Reeves as your secondary is still amazing, but the luxury of having Luka Doncic, I can't imagine not wanting to ever not have that again. I don't understand how you can if you're Dallas, you had that for 7 years, and you're like, "You know what? I'm done with that." 'Cause ultimately, even when the going gets tough, he'll do some crazy stuff out there, and he will bail your team out after probably putting them in the same position. And the Clippers beat the Thunder if they play each other. Clippers are the what seed? 5 seed? They would face the Thunder. I don't think they can beat them, but they would face the Thunder. The Thunder are magnificent. They should go to the finals. Unless the Lakers do what they did 2 weeks ago in in, uh, in OKC and beat them by 34 times, OKC should be NBA Finals bound. People saying the trade didn't make sense, they should have kept Davis. No, they should they should have made that trade 100 billion times out of 100 billion. If you get that offer, you take it immediately. And convincing them that they didn't want Reeves or Connect because they had the same problems as Luka, very smart. Very smart. Intelligent by Rob Pelinka to not let anything get out. That's now he got a contract extension. I don't see enough shot making outside of SGA for the Thunder to go far. Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, pretty good. I would say the one thing the Lakers have that no one else has is that 3 guys that have averaged 28 plus in stretches to this season, and that's with or without each other. With LeBron, Luka, and Reeves. I don't think they're going to be averaging 28 now. I think you're going to see in this Minnesota series, Luka's always going to be in the 30s, LeBron like 20s, and Reeves 16 to 20. The Timberwolves know if they get Reeves on an inefficient night, they'll win. They know that, so they go hard at Reeves. They respect him a lot. McDaniels, Anthony Edwards. They make it tough on Austin. And he does well against Gobert and Naz Reid, and I think he probably does well against Conley too. I'm not sure if you need a crazy game from Chet and J-Dub all the time though, because of how Shea centric their offense is and how well those guys know how to fill in their roles when the time comes. Getting the ball off the catch and establishing your dribble and getting to your spot. J-Dub and Chet are pretty good at that. I think Chet has some improvement doing, but his defense is great. And Hardenstein's offensive rebounding is great. Their depth is magnificent, as Jason Montgomery said. Refs carried Lakers? No, no. Refs helped on, but because they called it fair both ways, and that always benefits the Lakers because they're just shooting more during these fouls. It's the Wild West right now. Both teams had a lot of fouls. Jackson Hayes had 5 fouls in 9 minutes. Gobert needs to step up. The Lakers loved Gobert minutes today. The Lakers really loved Gobert minutes. They were big fans of those Gobert minutes. Those go like Gobert had a couple stretches where he got stops at the end on a couple of jumpers because Luka tried some crazy shot, and same with I think Austin one time, or it was actually it might have been LeBron. But when I don't know why the Lakers didn't just go to the rim more often because when they did, they saw success. Um, Austin Reeves with some really key layups at Naz Reid, at Rudy Gobert, Rui Hachimura with that key cut that we talked about earlier from the corner. The Lakers largely won this game because they made timely plays when they and like conventional middle school, high school basketball plays where you had to cut. You need to remember if your guy's overplaying you, you cut and you look for the ball and you make the layup no matter what. No matter what. They have to play organized basketball, and that was better for them. But when they didn't, it was ugly. It was turnover city. Yeah, no, the Wolves did not win from the refs or lose from the refs. It was their bad shooting from three. Sonny Kill, Alexander Walker missed wide open threes. Naz Reid airballed a three as opposed to hitting everything. Um, and as Charles Barkley once said, situations are situational, and these games are situational. They are isolated they're individual isolated events. They don't exist anymore. You can take uh, tendencies and notes from these previous games, but what's going to happen in game three is going to be different than what happens in game two. It will be completely new. It will be a renewed sense of energy for Minnesota going home and thinking that they stole a game because they're in that mindset. It will be a challenge for the Lakers to go in Gold City. You got to go establish yourselves in a foreign city to your home. You've been home for a really long time since the end of the season. Minnesota gets loud. It's going to be tough to win that game. You're expected to lose that game, but you're not expected to lose game four. Game four. You go down 3-1. You put yourselves in a really tough position. So you need to come out. You need to come up. You need to come out hard. Game three, Luka get active. I like that they started the game with Austin Reeves and LeBron James touching the basketball. Just getting those touches in the beginning of the basketball game will change your whole outlook as a ball handler. If you can just feel the ball in the beginning, make plays for your guys, make plays for yourself, then get it to your primary guy who is just fine at all moments. You give him the opportunity to cook in the moments when he needs to cook. That helps everyone that's involved, and then you're comfortable throughout the whole game as opposed to not having your rhythm at all because one guy's just shooting all the shots in the beginning. Then you're trying to get your rhythm in a real life basketball game, which is a lot harder. It's just a lot harder, especially in an official basketball game like that. Trying to get your rhythm after not touching it, that doesn't go hand in hand. The Lakers before trading Anthony Davis actually had a ritual in Golden State on Christmas when Austin Reeves hit the game winner. Pre-game, when they were all getting on the court, Anthony Davis gets LeBron James, Max Christie, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura all have to touch the ball, pass it to each other, feel it, and be one as a unit because they had to all play together. They didn't have an ISO specialist. Someone says, "Why I look like Bronny James." I get that every time. That's funny. And Edwards and Naz Reid only play good. Naz Reid did not play well tonight for his standards, especially in comparison to last game. Bronny James is funny, bro. Minnesota is cheeks. They are not. They are just really physical. They are a lot stronger and more athletic than the Lakers, but the Lakers are smarter, and they knew where to tip the ball out. They knew um, they made higher IQ basketball plays and made up for their mistakes in big ways on defense. But man, did they scare the Lakers the whole night? It was a stressful game. It was a very stressful game. I had to yawn because of how stressful that game was. That game was stressful. Um, yeah, they are too comfortable in their home. I agree. Bronny's the reason Lakers can get a ring. I agree. Our glorious king's son, LeBron James Jr. They good at flopping. Warriors in 5. Warriors in 4 or 5 against the Rockets for sure. For sure. Pacers in 5. Yeah. You can be up the whole game and still be stressed out because you are playing like shit. In when it comes to one possession, you beat your guy. It's so sick, and the next possession, you beat your guy 45 times. You pass the ball around 1 million times, and no shot gets off. You miss a layup at the rim, and it doesn't even touch the rim, and shot clock violation. That's stress, and getting beat on ball, and then you're forced in a drive and kick situation, and then they're just missing their threes today as opposed to not the other day. The Lakers closed out better, don't get me wrong, but that was stressful. That was a stressful basketball game, especially as a Laker fan. All right, time for bed, Grandma. Bucks not done. I think they win game 3. I don't know about game 4 though. I do think they win game 3. I think Indy's young. I don't know if they can go out there and sweep them. I don't think they can sweep them. But Indiana is the better team. So Dame and Giannis just need to have one of those special games where they both go for 40. But Indiana is the better team. I agree. Lakers do have to find a way to move the ball better and move it more. Timberwolves had Lakers under 100 points. Yeah. They no. No. They did not hold them to under 100 points in back-to-back games. Just this game. Yeah, the physicality of the Timberwolves does put a lot of pressure on LeBron James and Austin Reeves, but I think they figured out some new weak points today in Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley. They finally took advantage of those. You were at the game, people started cheering when Gobert was. Oh yeah, they cheered every time. You could hear it on the audio too. It was crazy. The whole arena knew what was going to happen. He was going to cook him somehow. It was either for a pump fake, Larry Bird pump fake on the floater, or step back 3. He didn't make a lot of the step back 3s tonight, but yeah, he was clowning him. Luka loves it. He tells him to clear out immediately. Clear out. I have Rudy Gobert on me. Clear out. Rudy Gobert cannot guard me. I'm Luka Doncic. But that can be at your detriment sometimes. It's why you win, but it's you live with it, you live by it, and you die by it. The Wolves didn't just play bad though, Danos. It was better Laker defense than what I had seen. But they did play worse as well. But that can be a product of the defense. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the calling for a foul after Gobert beats him on a play. I don't know if he actually did that, but he did cry for fouls on other moments, and I think he's very justified a lot of the time on the reaches. He when guys will reach on him a lot, and they will hit him repeatedly, and it will go uncalled. He will really only get the call later on when he's doing that hey floater on the elbow. They'll call that a lot of the time because the guys are jumping and they don't know how to get their hands out of the cookie jar. Nah, I don't think in the playoffs you can really just give out techs like that. It has to be egregious. Yeah, Reeves missed open threes, but it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. It really does happen to the best of us. We live with it. It sucked because those were wide open, and Lakers could have won by 20 if he hits all of them. But at least three, you still win by like 15, 18. No, actually, you win by 21. Too dependent on Luka. They have this new dependency on Luka, which is different than before. Um, but LeBron was more confident with the ball today. Y'all better hope Jalen Clark doesn't get any playing time. Terrence Shannon played over him. I was shocked. Let's talk about Rui selling my parlay. This was the league getting involved. I'm not surprised by these comments. I kind of expected them. The issue is K. Bryant. I hate how he didn't sign a true center. There's time where we needed rebounds badly. Alex Len of all people, man. And then not converting Trey Jemison because you didn't want to admit your mistake. That's fair. You don't want to go above to the second apron. That's fair. But Alex Len was the guy you had leave his signing offer sheet to go play for you. So then you couldn't get rid of him because you fulfilled a year-long promise. Alex Len, really? With the center options were terrible, though. Alex Len was probably a top 3 center available. Him, Moses Brown. Maybe you could have poached Kai Jones. Poached and Folly Dante from the Rockets, but he's a draft pick, so you can't even do that. I don't want DeAndre Ayton, man. Not at 35 million. I'm not trading Rui and Gabe and Kleba. I'm not doing that. I'm not even trading just one of those. Only guy that's better, that Ayton is better than on this Laker team is Maxi Kleba. DeAndre Ayton's on one of the worst contracts for a team like the Lakers, who just need a rolling and defending and rebounding center. Man, I'm not trading Reeves for Duren, but you know the Pistons would ask for Reeves if so. I feel decent about the win. I am who you thought I was. I feel decent about it. I don't feel great, but I feel decent. It's a decent win. Really good defense. Really subpar offensive execution. In like a basketball ethical mindset. Not ethical hoops in certain respects. Yeah, no, you would never trade Reeves. I think Reeves has proved to be untouchable because he shows up when you need him to, or not even just when you need him to. It's kind of when you least expect him to that he will show up when the going gets tough on these layups that he hit. But the three-pointer, he can't do what he did last playoffs. He needs to make these. Just because there's more pressure on these threes doesn't mean you should miss them. But you're not gonna make every single three all the time. So he made up for it by being a great defender. Drew a few charges. I loved that from Austin. Wolves looked like they weren't even there today. They were there. But I think they'll come out firing in the third quarter. Man, if that Mark Williams trade went through, yeah, we talked about that. But the Lakers probably would benefit a lot from Mark Williams right now and probably be the favorites in every game and not have lost game one because that was just unguardable, but they would have had a big for at least a year. And if he got injured, it would have looked like a terrible trade later, giving up 2 first-round picks in Dalton Connect and the 2031 first-round pick. I think the Lakers wanted to hold on to their assets and go for someone bigger in the offseason. And now they have Connect, Kleba. That's 15 mil. couple first round picks that can be dealt, and a couple swaps if you want to get some really, 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 really above average role playing center or wing. Or if you add Rui, you get some sort of star. I don't know. You look like Larry Nance Jr. That's hilarious. I've gotten Bronny and Larry Nance Jr. tonight. I'm not mad at. Hey, if I look like NBA players, that's got to be something. I got to be doing something right. When I had my long hair, bro, I used to be called Jamal Murray. That's funny. Now I'm Larry Nance and Bronny. Put Bronny in for defense. That's funny. Gobert was clamping Luka and Braun. He did not initially, but after he had gotten cooked a few times, he did clamp them a couple times. Me too. I wanted Nick Richards as well all season long. I thought that was the only guy we needed this season pre-Luka. I was like, Nick Richards, AD, man, that's a lot of rebounds. And I think everyone and their mom did a Dorian Finney-Smith trade for D'Lo. Or not for D'Lo, for Gabe and Christian Wood. But then it ultimately became D'Lo. Because I think all of Lakers Twitter was talking about Gabe and Christian Wood for Dorian Finney-Smith in a couple seconds. And instead they did D'Lo in 3 seconds for Dorian, and it was actually the perfect fucking deal, man. Perfect deal. I love Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith just hits balls out. He hustles. He rebounds. He plays defense. He's gritty. He doesn't take any bullshit. He plays hard. And he hits threes only when Luka passes it to him. Only when Luka passes it to him. That's the only time he hit a three tonight was when Luka passed it to him. He passed me the ball. Kobe passed me the ball. He believes in me. So Ron Artest said when they won the championship in 2010. Kobe really believed in me. And Luka and Dorian have the exact same connection. He will make it if Luka passes it to him. LeBron always go back to flopping when things get tough. It's hard being 40 and still to go. I don't think he's flopping. I think he's just 40. And the hits hurt a lot more now. And it's harder to get up. Your back pain is probably heavy on those. He's getting hit a lot. The hits didn't hurt when he was in his prime. That's for sure. We got to hit threes. We have to hit threes, man. We did not hit enough threes, and we still won because in what we lost with Austin Reeves going 0 of 6, Gabe Vincent gives you 2 threes, Dorian gives you 1, Luka 2 of 8, but 6 of 29 from 3 is not going to cut it in Minnesota. Well, you held them to 5 of 25, 20% from 3 and 20% from 3. This was a gritty 80s basketball game. There were a lot of close shots shot. Denver Clippers was a lot like that too. Denver Clippers was a lot like that. 80s ball, middies, play hard. Just take the hardest shots, but trying making it the best shot, but it's probably going to be a hard shot anyways. That's what the Lakers do. That's what the Clippers did. That's what the Nuggets did. That's what even Minnesota is really good at. It's just if they're hitting their 3 or if the Lakers are hitting their 3, it'll look bad for the other team. That's how it goes. The league integrity is compromised. OKC games not looking that way. OKC games are dominant, except for the one game where the Lakers beat them by 30. But OKC games are completely dominant. Also, Memphis isn't fair. Like that's not a fair first round matchup for them. The fact that they got it even remotely close was impressive. But no Jalen Wells, no Brandon Clark, bro. Like, what are we gonna do? And no, you're not playing GG Jackson. Like, Scottie Pippen Jr. is guarding Shea. Come on. Although Shea did go 27 points in 29 minutes. Shea is kind of him. But it had to shoot a lot. To get his 27. Although he knows how to put the icing on a cake, that's for sure. He really knows how to end these games. They will just go, it'll get close, and then they'll just make it 20-30 at the end of the game. Just hit 6 threes in a row as a team. Lou Dort will hit some crazy 3. Shea will hit a 3. J-Dub will hit a midi. Chet will get an offensive rebound or like a nice block. And Hartenstein had a couple offensive boards. Chet had a couple nice blocks. Caruso had momentum plays in the first half. They're too deep, man. They're too deep. They should go to the finals. I don't think the Clippers should bench Bogdanović. He's good. He may have bad moments, but he's actually a good player. He just needs to be a little more decisive out there. Game one, I quit watching at the end of third and took a nap. Lol. Yeah, that's fair. Tyler Ray. That's fair. It was domination. But you missed a fake comeback. Actually, no, it was kind of partial in the third. So no, you saw it. Warriors beating Lakers in 6. I don't know. I think that would be the hardest Western Conference series besides OKC for the Lakers. But I would go Lakers in 7 on that one. Just because I think the individual play is going to be what wins it. And I think 1-2-3 versus 1-2-3 is very close. But I think the Lakers just slightly edge out the Warriors there. And then I think Rui, Vando, DFS, and Gabe just provide a lot of value that, maybe you get different kind of value from Post, Moody, et cetera, Podzemski. But the Lakers' talent is very high level, and that's how they beat a team like this. That's exactly how they beat a team like this. But the Warriors, they'll give you a lot of problems. But the Lakers only lost that last game because Podzemski gave them the work. Yeah, Reeves starts to. I feel like his 3-point percentage does regress in the playoffs, and that needs to be elevated next game. That needs to be. I need a 2 of 4. No, all we need is a 2 of 4, 3 of 6 from 3 next game. It doesn't need to be crazy. It really doesn't. Because usually, if you just play the same defense that he played today, you play the same defense that LeBron played today, and Jackson doesn't foul 5 fucking times in 9 minutes, and he finds a way to play 16 to 20 minutes. That is a legitimate chance to win the game. That is a legitimate chance to come out on top if you net 16 minutes from Jackson and like 16 from Vando. You let those defensive guys really play. That would be great. That would be great. Read my comments and it's just T-Wolves in 5. All right, bro. We need to finish games better. Yes, we do. Bad execution. High level players, but low level mistakes. Cavs or Celtics for me. Give me the Celtics, but Cavs size is a differentiator that we can only really truly fathom when they face each other. That's a series I'm going to watch every single minute because that series is bound to happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm pissed. But that series needs to happen for everybody who loves the NBA and basketball in general. Thoughts on Tatum? Great player. Could have been co-finals MVP. You mean 6? Naz Reid better than Austin Reeves? I don't think so, but I think they should be on the same team. Naz Reid, if you want to come to LA next year, you should. Unrestricted free agent. Heard you've liked Los Angeles. You told Reeves he'd slap him in the face, and Reeves told him to shut the fuck up. Like, you can come to us. You can definitely come to us. Nazareth. Naz Reid can be the center of the future if he wants to be. Lakers defense was so good. Yes, sir. Yeah, Reeves definitely better. Reeves has elevated to a level that is ridiculous. It's very impressive. One of the top 4 best undrafted players ever already. Him, Ben Wallace, Isaiah Thomas, 5'9" Isaiah Thomas. Although no, Isaiah Thomas was 60th pick. He was drafted. Could have Ish NBA, could have Ish PGA, could have Ish USA. Lakers in 5. I love that. I'm keeping that one. That's hilarious. That is hella funny. Who wins MVP? Shea's going to win regular season MVP. If it's the Celtics, I would argue Tatum finds a way to win it this year. If it's the Lakers, it would probably be Luka Doncic. If it was the Thunder, it would be Shea. If it was the Cavs, that'd be hard, but I think it'd be Donovan. Who wins MVP? Is this Joe Mazzulla? No, sir. I can see how Minnesota fans thought the refs were terrible. I can see that. If Taylor Horton Tucker and Larry Nance Jr. had a baby, that's funny. When I shaved all my hair, I literally called myself Taylor Horton Tucker. I thought I looked exactly like him, bro. I don't know why we just got similar lives, bro. We just got similar builds and similar lives. It's funny. And shout out Georges Niang. 30 pounds ago, I was Georges Niang. That's for sure. Because I also have my curly hair, bro. I'm not even a Wolves fan. Officiating is just buns in the whole NBA right now. It is bad, Vincent. I agree. I completely agree. I think it's been really inconsistent throughout the entirety of the playoffs and across the board. It's been very inconsistent this season. And I don't know why. I wonder if guys are using parlays or something. I don't understand the new refereeing subjectivity. I thought we knew what we were doing. Yeah, you might as well just let them play. It's the playoffs, you know? You might as well just let them play. They should. It's the playoffs. And it breeds for more natural basketball, but you can't let them play to the point where it's impacting guys' chances to get the ball, impact like where it's getting unethical fouls, like the small touchy touch, ticky tack fouls. Maybe not. Maybe don't use those, but make it consistent and make it consistent for the whole season. Because why change it? Who are you benefiting? You're not benefiting the consumer. You're not benefiting the players. But you are making it harder, which makes it more entertaining, which makes playoff basketball rise in ratings when the Lakers and the Warriors and the Celtics are involved, and the Knicks. Yeah, we're just looking for consistency at this point, bro. I totally agree. I always die when I see Jacobson join. What a guy. Yeah, I missed as a fan. Okay. Yeah, refs just got to be consistent. That's why they're going to create robot refs in the future. We're all going to lose our jobs to AI. Soon there's going to be an AI streamer telling you what the thoughts that you tell him happen in the game. He'll tell you what the thoughts would be on live. So AI will be taking over very soon. We will see robot refs. We will see AI live streamers. Lakers had more fouls than the Wolves. Yeah, no, the Wolves were just hacking today. I don't exactly know why. They didn't need to. They did not need to. Hey, nothing wrong with Larry Nance, bro. Robot players. Unless did something happen to Larry Nance? Or you guys are just talking about me, bro? Wolves in 5? No, sir. Oh yeah, I do. For some reason, but like for a second, I had to check if something happened to him, bro. That's my boy Larry. Is this Jamal Murray? I get that all. That's so funny, bro. I be getting Jamal. Guys, they came here for Javon Carter. Chat, what is happening? I don't know what's happening, chat. They're making me do this verification. And it's not happening currently. Oh, shit. Oh, we're so back. We're so back, chat. We're so back. I just had to do a fucking full-on English test to get back in my life. Also, love the support tonight, guys. Appreciate it. Warriors tomorrow, yeah. If Steph shoots like that, they're sweeping them. Get the high five from Austin. Austin immediately talking to Bron. And LeBron James on JJ Redick's irate timeout in the third quarter. We understand JJ is going to spaz out from time to time, and he did. And it helped. He really did. Lakers were playing some stupid basketball when he spazzed out. Someone said Reeves threw that shit to 2009 Bron. That's what we were talking about, chat. Yeah, Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid in game 2. They combined for 17 points, 6 of 19 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. Lakers Cavs finals would be sick. LeBron winning number 5 in Cleveland, but as a Laker, that's a story I think they've thought about for a while. With Bronny in attendance, that would be great for the ratings. Although Lakers Celtics would do the numbers the league has been waiting for. There's a full mixtape of LeBron highlight dunk tapes when he was in Cleveland in the first 4 years, and it's the LeBron Reeves thinks he's passing to. That's hilarious. Yeah, the LeBron James sequence when he steals the ball on Anthony Edwards in the middle and then goes up for the lefty lay, bro. That was the sequence of the night, and I think that's how we're gonna end it because I just realized we're over an hour. Been amazing, guys. Had a lot of support on TikTok and YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Follow me at Ish_NBA on Instagram and TikTok. We'll be live again on Friday night. Big game 3 in Minnesota. I'll probably find a way to be live tomorrow during the Warriors game, as well, or maybe an earlier game, and we'll just keep going, bro. Everyone follow up on TikTok if you're here so you can see the notification tomorrow. Same on YouTube. I got a full-fledged channel. Follow me on Twitter at Ish_NBA or IshonGosh824. And I'll see you guys next time. Larry Nance Jr., Taylor Horton Tucker, Bronny James, and formerly Jamal Murray logging off. Peace, guys.